Yes, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Sagarika ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Good evening,
evening,
Vinaya
Vinaya,
ma'am. Good
Miss
evening.
Vinaya.
Good evening,
And
sir.
Mr. Biju S. Pillai. Good
Good
evening.
evening, sir. Good evening.
Let's go.
Yes.
Please introduce Miss Vinaya. Well, Sagarika ma'am, all set?
Yes, sir.
All the best.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Vinaya ma'am, what about you?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, all the best to you as well.
Thank you, sir.
Here we go.
Ms. Vinaya K. is an accomplished educator with a postgraduate degree in chemistry specialized in natural products from the University of Calicut and a bachelor's degree in education in physical science from Kannur University. Being set qualified, she has a strong academic foundation. Her dedication to education is evident through her role as a master trainer at the Center for Educational Development Foundation, India. A member of the Royal Society of Chemistry, she prioritizes continuous learning and stays updated with the latest resources in the field. She strongly believes in the importance of evolving teaching methodologies and has actively embraced new trends in the teaching-learning process. Her passion for education is palpable in the belief that learning should be enjoyable and connected to the learner. Her motto, "Teaching with passion," will make a remarkable change in the lives of the learners. One of the highlights in her career was meeting the Nobel laureate in chemistry 2022, Mr. Morton P. Meldell, a dream come true moment that further fueled her passion for teaching and learning. Hearty welcome, Ms. Vinaya. The stage is yours. Please proceed.
Thank you for the lovely introduction.
Please proceed.
Good evening to one and all. Warm greetings from Extra Mile. Extra Mile is an exclusive platform created by the founder of BTAG, Dr. Abdul Salam, for providing online and offline training. Having a pool of resource persons, Extra Mile is a resourceful in providing on-site training on demand across India. Before I begin, I would like to extend my gratitude to Dr. Abdul Salam and Extra Mile Education and Training for giving me this opportunity. I extend a warm welcome to all the participants, and together, let us explore the different ways of engaging the learners through the medium of art. Art integration is a practice of incorporating various art forms into teaching learning process of non-art subjects. This approach enhances student engagement and promote well-rounded education. It also helps in developing the 4 C's in 21st century skills, namely communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. This webinar is going to be a value-added resource for enhancing the skill in art education for all educators. It will also give us an insight how to balance art activities with other subjects. Art integration is not about adding more subjects to an already packed curriculum, but it is about finding creative ways to teach existing content through art. NEP 2020 focuses on holistic development of the learner, and CBSE has announced learning through art integration as the training theme of academic session 2024-25. This webinar is going to be an eye-opener to making the concepts crystal clear by amalgamating different art forms into learning experience. If the learner is engaged in the process of learning, learning becomes permanent. Before we begin today's session, there are few things I would like to brief you about. Any query during the session can be conveyed through the meeting chat box. In order to have an interactive experience, you may clear your doubts by asking questions. Kindly use the virtual hand raise button and wait for your name to be called out for asking your query. The participants will have the opportunity to receive the certificate only after filling the certificate and the feedback form, the link for which will be shared at the end of the session. Kindly stay connected till the end of the session. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Dr. Abdul Salam. He has worked as the assessor of National Accreditation Board for Education and Training, Government of India. Dr. Salam is the CBSE resource person and master trainer. He is the founder of CEO of BTAG and Extra Mile. Sir, it is indeed a pleasure to have your gracious presence, and I would request you to take over the proceedings of the evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Respected resource person of today, Ms. Sagarika Das, Mr. Biju S. Pillai, and all the educators. Hearty welcome to Extra Mile Education and Training. Well, as you were looking forward to, I am also looking forward to this session, especially as Ms. Vinay has mentioned that CBSE has made this particular topic, learning through art integration, as the theme of the trainings of 24-25 of CBSE sessions. And you can see a lot of emphasis, focus, and a lot of trainings, orientations by CBSE and Extra Mile in the coming days, as it is very important, very useful for everyone to make sure that children find it easy to learn through art forms, integrating art forms in their learning. So we will listen to Ms. Sagarika Das to know more about how we can integrate art into our learning, into our teaching learning process, and how learning can be made a pleasant experience. So enjoy, everyone. Sit back. Thank you so much for joining. Have a very good session today. And we are very proud to introduce Sagarika Das and Ms. Vinaya. Both are from the same school. Two faculties working together, and they have put their heads together now. So let us wish them all the very best, and let's extend our cooperation and support to them. Thank you so much. Over to Vinaya, ma'am. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, amidst us, we also have Mr. Biju S. Pillai. Mr. Pillai is the principal of Gokulam Public School, Trivandrum. He is the co-founder of BTAG and has a vast experience in the field of education in many capacities, including being the principal of many reputed CBSE schools. Sir, we are honored to have your gracious presence amidst us. I request Mr. Biju S. Pillai to felicitate the gathering with his kind words.
Good evening, one and all. Thank you, Vinaya ma'am. Most respected Director of Extra Mile Education, Dr. Abdul Salam sir, today's resource persons, Ms. Sagarika ma'am, and all other educators on Extra Mile platform. As every evening we are coming out with different topics. Today is the art integration. Many a times we have brought it, as we see that this is a very important topic where CBSE is focusing upon, and considering India having more than 28 states and different languages, traditions, customs, art integration is definitely going to play a very vital role, where children will get a very good, very clear idea about different art forms, different customs being prevailed throughout India. and which can be interrelated. The same way, all the subjects also, how it can be correlated, and many different types of exhibitions can be organized by different subject groups all together, so that teaching learning methodology will become more and more effective, and to a certain extent a playway method, like in bringing art integration to its main theme. So to know more about it, we will focus and listen to our great resource person of the day, Ms. Sagarika Das. Welcome you, ma'am, to this this evening, and welcome all educators. Thank you for giving me a chance to speak. Thank you, Vinaya ma'am. Back to you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Ms. Sagarika Das, being a wealth of knowledge and experience to the educational field with her 23 years of dedicated teaching, her tenure at Gulf Alif Atoll Education Center in the Republic of Maldives is a testament to her commitment to education across cultures. Her notable contribution to literature includes the translation of the pioneering Dalit Oriya novel Bheda into Malayalam, which has been recognized by University of Calicut and is included in their translation studies curriculum. As the coordinator of Chinmaya Yuva Kendra, Ms. Das has played a pivotal role in youth development. Her pursuit of professional excellence led her to attend SOF, Teachers Enhancement Program in Delhi in 2019, further enriching her teaching methodologies. Ms. Das has been actively involved in impactful initiatives such as Nanma and SEED, where she has left a lasting impression through her engagement and leadership. She has also spearheaded a variety of workshops, including Indigenous, Break the Shell, and movie workshops, all of which underscore her innovative approach to education. Her enthusiasm, diligence, and immense creativity are the cornerstones of her teaching philosophy. Ms. Das is a staunch advocate for creative teaching and learning methods, believing that they are crucial in nurturing a dynamic and stimulating educational environment. Presently, she is serving as PGT English in Chinmaya Vidyalaya, Kanpur. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Vinaya ma'am. So much, it's really massive to get such an introduction. Let me take this great opportunity first to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Salam sir. Salam sir, really a great salute to you, a real salam to you. First of all, to provide me the very novice platform to be part of this great endeavor, to be a resource person. Thank you so much for bearing with me for the past 3 days, correcting me, giving me constructive approach and all that. Thank you so much. Again, you have helped me in that artistic development. You yourself, you have helped me. Thank you so much once again. Very, very obliged and grateful to you, sir. Thank you, Biju sir, for being, again, a great part of this great initiative and endeavor. I won't take much of time. Once again, my humble pronouns to each one of you. Before I really begin into the serious part of today's session, let me extend my humble pronouns at the lotus feet of Pujya Gurudev. On to him always my best. Now, as Vinaya ma'am has already thrown light on what is art integration, and the theme and objective she has already informed. So let me take you through a few lines of some great writer, speaker, a freedom fighter. I know you all are on the virtual monitor. I just want you to close your eyes and help your auditory skills. Just listen to a few lines. And I just want to know, what does it speak? I want a few responses on the chat box. Just for time. I know it's very hectic. We are into a very stressful atmosphere, ambience these days. So Russian, hustle, bustle, all that. Just kindly close your eyes and just listen to a few lines of a great. If you can, you can help me with the writer's name. Well and good, please help yourself by putting it on the chat box. I think I must start now. Kindly close your eyes. Teach him wonder of books. Also give him quiet time to ponder the eternal mystery of birds in the sky, bees in the sun, and flowers on green hillside. Teach him to have faith in his own ideas, even if everyone tells him they are wrong. Teach him always to have sublime faith in yourself, because then he will always have sublime faith on himself. Oh, that's great. I have got quick responses by Abraham Lincoln, by Elizabeth ma'am. Thank you so much. Shima Krishnan ma'am, thank you so much. Yes, it's by the great writer, great orator, Abraham Lincoln, from his poem, To My Son's Teacher. And I am deeply impressed because the entire versification gives an absolute perfect message to all the teachers, to the holistic development of her student. Yes, let us start with art integration with the presentation, because this year's art integration, learning through art integration as per National Education Policy 2020 emphasizes on the holistic development of our individual learners or learner entity. Let us go through the CBSE circular. Yeah, so here we are. It's our exploration junction where learning meets innovation. So how this can be possible? The learning can be possible through this innovation, and we can meet at that junction, the exploration junction. So the National Education Policy 2020 emphasizes the importance of innovative teaching methods with specific mention of art integration as a transformative pedagogy. I know you have gone through, I just reiterating, art integration nurtures creativity, encouraging students to explore innovative ideas, express themselves, and think outside the box. Incorporating arts into education supports a holistic development, addressing their emotional, social, cognitive needs. In view of NEP 2020 focuses on holistic development of the students, the board announces learning through art integration as a training theme of academic session 2020. Now, what are the highlights of this year's agenda of art integration? So it's stage-specific online sessions. Stage-specific, I think you well understand it as the first section, that is preparatory, FLN, and then comes to the secondary and comes to the higher secondary. The second one is school level workshops. So to accomplish our motto, we have to organize so many school level workshops, and then definitely without students, it's invalid. So students' workshops has to be designed well, it has to be devised, strategized properly. So how schools may conduct art-based workshops and activities for students with various art integration techniques and methodologies. Invite expert educators, artists to conduct these sessions. Student workshops, and then comes community engagement. As we all know, when it comes to a school, a system, the circle can be completed with the students, the teachers, the stakeholders, the parents, the community, and the other acquaintances. So community engagement, schools may extend the initiative to involve parents and local community. Schools may organize exhibitions, performances, or interactive sessions showcasing students' artistic talents. Next, national conferences. Now, when we have got the plan properly, there should be a platform to showcase their talent. Now, how they showcase possible showcasing their talent? Through organizing national conferences, and our CBSE is looking forward to organizing national conferences on national integration for the best practices in the best institutions, so that principals and teachers are encouraged to maintain records of their practices. So it will actually reinforce our motto and vision. And then definitely, when we want to cater to all types of learners, we have to be catering to the need of Divyangs or physically impaired. So that is inclusive learning, and therefore inclusion of students with disabilities, I would correct here, it is not disabilities, physically challenged or physically impaired community. And schools are advised to ensure full participation of children with special needs in all the activities related to learning through art integration. I think these are the areas we have to be equipped with in today's session. So let's move forward to the next. Yeah, it's just an introduction. Yeah, sure. What is art integrated learning? So, as you know, already by now we have given, when a child should be the center of our process, right? So it should be learner own research practical solutions. The child should be doing, right? It should be student centered. And then it should be following artistic standards as per our demand of learning through art integration. And then parameters, milestones clearly can be identified by the instructor. It can be collaborative approach, and students should acquire and apply knowledge and skill development. It is three-folded achievement here, where the individual global cultural development should take place. It has to empower their socio-emotional strengths, right? And their life skill developments. So, and therefore, if the child is delving deeper into a world of rich traditional knowledge, as Biju sir has mentioned, India is a multilingual, multi-diverse, and yes, wonderful country. Incredible country. So a lot of startup business, what I feel, can be, started, and lot of career opportunities is possible if we engage our learners through qualitative learning. So that's, we are going to get into the next, the real introduction. As we stand at the precipice of this educational revolution, that's National Education Policy 2020, let us ponder, what if learning were not just about absorbing facts, but about actively engaging in the process of, discovery, self-discovery, right? Innate potential discovery, right? The innate potential discovery to channelize, right? And to channelize that, the child has to be engrossed into learning, and that's possible through the appealing of senses of all the sensual learning, all the senses, multi-senses, right? It is spatial, it is auditory, it is visual, it is cognitive, and of course, yes, LSRW skills. What if students were empowered to ask questions? So when we feel the child is engrossed, the child is able to have a joyful learning atmosphere, ambience, obviously the child will be in the upper hand to, question, and that is perhaps the application level of learning. Or if the child is looking or further higher application level thinking, definitely we are on the highest peak, and that is the creativity, and all our pedagogy will be accomplished through this pattern of, questioning and answering, seeking answers, again, let us projecting to discoveries and inventions, imaginations. So, and write their own educational journey. And therefore, we can really navigate through great educational journeys. Now, I have a small illustration right on your screen. May I get a few responses? What does it convey? The illustration on the right side, ma'am. Illustration on the right side. Illustration on the, kindly go through it. A few responses, please.
Madam, what is the question?
Yes, the illustration is displayed. Yes, a few write-ups are here and there. May I get, either from the words?
Ma'am, Kavita ma'am has written critical.
Thank you. Yes, very much, very much. Critical thinking. We are fostering critical thinking. Yeah, through definitely art integration. Does this photo, does this picture convey that?
Collaborative thinking.
Very nice. Exactly. It's collaborative thinking. Because, parents, teachers.
Geeta ma'am has written creativity.
Very nice. I think more than enough. Yeah, that is what we are looking forward to, our fruits of blending art into the mainstream teaching and 21st century learning skills. So we have to nourish, foster, fortify the literacy, numeracy, communication, digital literary, lifelong learning, self-direction and personal management, creativity, innovation, social responsibility, cultural, global, environmental awareness, critical thinking, problem solving, as ma'am has already stated. Yes, imaginative skills, definitely, and the entrepreneurial spirit and discipline areas. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable inputs and active participation. Grateful to you, ma'am. So let us move on to a sweet video. I think it will further help us in opening our eyes to the blending of art, the interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, strengthening the joyful learning, strengthening the sense of individual development, and multiple facets, multiple possibilities of learning, breaking the barriers of the monotonous classrooms and our children struggling, with learning, or the parrots learning, mugging, and all that fun. I think we have to think little further to delve deeper into this topic. Kindly go through this video.
What exactly is arts integration? Arts integration is a way of teaching.
Ma'am, it got stuck. Can you play it again?
That connects any classroom curriculum with arts learning. Classroom curriculum can include subjects like science, math, language arts, social-emotional learning, literacy, social studies, health, and more. Arts learning can include arts disciplines like theater, dance, visual arts, poetry, music, folk and traditional arts, and media arts. Any teacher working with any grade level can integrate the arts into their curriculum to create exciting lessons that support student learning in both the arts and non-arts subjects. Here is an example integrating math with dance. We can learn the math concept of greater than or less than through an element of dance called levels. In dance, there are high, middle, and low levels of movement in space. Working together, students can compare the different values of numbers using levels. Students with a number that is greater than another can show a high level by reaching their body up to the ceiling. Students with a less than number can move close to the floor to show a low level. By creating physical connections with math and dance, students can learn both concepts at the same time. Arts integration has many benefits. We know the arts are good for our brains and hearts. Arts integration supports students to expand who they are in the classroom. Students who may never speak in class find themselves performing a poem. Emerging readers can paint their way towards literacy. Arts integration is a powerful way to engage in the learning process and gives us room to grow as individuals and as a community.
I think it is quite convincing to understand how it has great positive impacts on our learners. And for us, the teachers, the facilitators, it would be really very easy and very accomplishing. So we can well understand that AIL, the Art Integrated Learning, is a silver lining to our present crisis. The virtue of art pedagogy is a cross-curricular pedagogical approach that utilizes various aspects of art forms like dance, music, drama, theater, script, art and craft, and performing arts, right? Bases the learning of concepts and across subjects. So the child here actually can exercise as it is process-based and it is self-paced. Self-paced, I think we can understand. We need not hurry, we can't conform the child or impose to learning. It will be self-paced. It's inclusive already, as I have told you, and the child will definitely have the experiential learning, pluralistic, collaborative learning, transdisciplinary, and definitely it will have the sustainable development possibility, and therefore it will help us in the comprehensive development or all-round development, or what you have already got to know, the theme and aim of CBSE NEP 2020, learning art integration for the holistic development of the child. Yes, as Gurudev, Swami Chinmayanandaji has already mentioned, the children aren't vessels to be filled, but lamps to be lit. I think we understand this fact. What we do, we just want, maximum to put from ourselves and let it be filled. But aren't we doing a harm to our children? Are we able to empathize? Are we able to put ourselves into their shoes, and are we able to understand, counter their crisis? We have to think. We have to ponder at the real need of our children. And perhaps we are not able to create different personalities in the various fields. I mean, great personalities in the various fields. It's just happening a rush into either engineering, medical, or, a few options. But just imagine if the child is able to scaffold, is able to unleash its potential, definitely half of our job is done. And therefore, children aren't vessels to be filled, but lamps to be lit. So join us on a quest to unleash the full potential of cognitive prowess through art-based learning. As we delve deeper into this immersive approach, we invite you to contemplate, and the next slides will be on how to contemplate and how to implement, practice, and, finally, to celebrate our achievement. So importantly, how we can equip learners with the skills they need to thrive in ever-changing world. Just a second. This is a theater. We can have the communication development. We can have creativity, dance, visual arts, choices among products of the arts to make critical assessments of what one reads, sees, and hears. And also, this is how our civilization will grow. This is how we can realize our duty towards our nation. and our duty as global citizen. Yes, Vasudeva Kutumbakam can definitely be fortified. Yes. So the next, I'm taking directly into one of the chapters that I have chosen for, getting further the practical application of art integration into the 12th chapter, the very first chapter, Journey to the End of the Earth from Vistas, by Tishani Doshi. So, as you know, we all do with the reading, pre-reading, while reading, post-reading activities. So, while reading, I think we can think of implicit meaning, and we can think of implicit what all art integration can be incorporated into this chapter. Yes. So, what we can do is, yes, we can think of multimedia teaching learning in English language, to promote interaction between teacher and student, to promote transactional communication, to promote self-regulating learning, to promote abundant information, to improve efficiency of teachers, and of course, to stimulate students' attention and interest. So what we have to do is we have to describe inferring from multidisciplinary context, because this chapter throws lights on various subjects. Yeah, we'll just get to know in the next upcoming slides. So identifies a complexity idea of argumentative text, and then relates personal and social experiences of in writing and speaking, right? Speaking, again, we need nuances, how we express the different nuances. Yes, reflects on the multicultural and multilingual aspects of social life. So various life has been discussed in this chapter. It will also reflect on that. We will also demonstrate aspect of it in understands geographical context. Yes. Also, scientific facts can be spoke upon. And then this will integrate and evaluate multiple sources of information presented in the diverse formats in media, that, like example, quantitative data, video, multimedia, to address and solve the problems. So here we go. We can take, like, safe environment, we can do on that. Research can be adopted, course assignment can be given, literature analysis can be given, journal studies, articles, dissertation, thesis, and yes, a poem, story, part, theme of a personal experience, anecdote can be shared, and research work can be also assigned, right? So we will move on to the next slide. That is how this aesthetics, literary, sensory language by composing songs, poems, paintings, drawings, examples can be incorporated. That's real integration of art into the chapter Journey to the End of the Earth. Here, the child again initiates and participates effectively in a range of collaborative discussions on academic and social topics, textbooks, and current issues, expresses ideas clearly and persuasively, and reciprocates with understanding. The child also gets an opportunity to work with peers, the friends, right? Because it's all group activities we are aiming at. So for discussions, decision making, establishes clear-cut goals, deadlines, individual roles. Also, the sensitivity while the peer discussion, debating, other activity taking place, the child also develops sensitivity towards people, issues, and professes the skill of sharing jokes. Brief accounts with humorous wit, satire also is part of this chapter. So even the child gets an opportunity to foster on that. The child also identifies and uses appropriate, safe, and authentic online sources, browsers, and all that we will look forward to in the process of researching. So now these are all preparatory, done. Now the next phase of our classroom teaching learning will be starting with the ice-breaking activity. Now ice-breaking is another pre-reading activity, and the chapters are already designed. So as for this chapter, we have, if you want to know more about the planet's past, present, and future, then Antarctica is a place to go to. I think you would enjoy this video, just a quick video. So here we go. Let's enjoy Bon Voyage to Antarctica.
Come with me on a journey into the unknown. to a wilderness few have dared to explore. Antarctica. A continent only discovered 200 years ago. Now revealing its secrets. A world full of life, full of wonder, and full of the unexpected.
So, do you believe this is going to be enthralling, exhilarating, starting of a topic? Agree? May I get a few responses? Yes, we loved it, right? Has it touched all our senses? Has it touched? Yes. Will our words suffice what the video has conveyed? Will our words, the classroom as we go, we do the introduction and all, will that be enough, or is it, the video is more captivating and more convincing to the topic? Yes, you all agree. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your active comments. So the next phase, what we can do is, like, they have to gather information on the past, they have to ponder at our present, and then they have to think, imagine the possibility of the condition of our earth, yes, in the future. So what will happen is, we can divide them into groups as per our whims and fancies. We have an R idea, right? So we can assign them PPT presentation. PPT is actually, it is multi skills are involved in that. Yes, multi skills, and I have achieved to great extent that sense of satisfaction. Definitely you all will have once you engage your students in such learning. Yeah, then painting, dancing, they can create song on how to about the past of our earth, and then documentation, documentary making, a poem, and many other forms. Okay, so this can be given to 1 or 2 periods, it can be devised. Then how is our planet now? They are quite aware of, they are learning already from science, they are learning from maybe geography, maybe social studies. A little further, we can have a discussion on human impacts on the earth or environment, and come up with the 5 points of the human activities impact on the environment, right? And I'm sure, with guts, I can express that I have successfully conducted MUN, that is the branch, United Nations Environment Branch, UNEP program. It was mind-blowing. Our children did such a vast research, and I was all the more very happy and satisfied because a few students started showing interest into joining climatic, either as journalists or as Indian Forest Services. It also opened our eyes to role of, right, this in India, and it has connected this interdisciplinary chemicals, health, and resource markets. So it is catering to the need of science students. Actually, it's through a English topic, an English topic. It's health, talking about bio, if I'm not wrong. Then talking about resources. Again, we can bring in the commerce part here and the markets, and children, I'm sure they would not have thought of these multiple possibilities through such discussion, research. So, and therefore I have often achieved this actually. So there are multiple divisions based on this branch. It is communication division, corporate service divisions, industry and economy division, ecosystems division, law division, policy and program division, early warning and assessment division, climate change divisions. The child would not have thought of these multiple possibilities. It has opened its eyes to different avenues, different arena, a window to their career guidance. So the child can definitely try out what I can be, what he can be by becoming chief. He or she can become chief digital officer, chief scientist officer, governance affairs officer, IFS, and plethora of options are possible. So as I have told you, for the secondary and higher secondary level, they have to develop their area of interest. So once they started, they're passionate about all these areas, it's there somewhere deep in their interest. But if they get a platform, it is further fostered and fortified. So we again, Bon Voyage virtual tour of life in Antarctica. It's a secondary part. So now Life in Antarctica, it's a song interview of virtual visitors to Antarctica. It's an interview they are conducting, and then story weaving by collecting the history of formation of Antarctica. And then we have the group 4 picture interpretation, flora, fauna in Antarctica, like all that we have gone through, and street play. That is where they have to carry forward the real message for the real impact into the community, and they growing as social responsible entities, accountable to all the actions and reactions happening in our society, in the current world. So I think the last, the final ultimate creativity would be if they seriously initiate on planting many saplings, and we have already initiated on that one. And I also request to, we all have to join our hands in this great endeavor. Otherwise, 50-degree to, it's escalating, and more sunstrokes happening across India and the world. So let us have the multidisciplinary aspects, as that is one of the important components of art integrated learning. Yes. So we can connect here geography, mathematics, science, visual arts, ICT, music, performing arts, movie making. So projects can be, assigned like aspects of Antarctica, then calculating the distance of Antarctica, and then science, they can draw, elaborate, possible food chain and all that. Then visual art, when it comes to landscape, that they can really enjoy, ICT, PPT making, music composing, and performing arts, a sketch, and movie making. Yes, so all-round development. Further, because that's not enough, right? After the 75% of achievement, we can go for an extrapolative activities. So here,
Ms. Sagarika, excuse me,
yes.
Sorry to interrupt. The last slide, please. I think this is where you have to, stress upon.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. We can go a bit slowly.
Yes. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. So thank you so much, sir, because the teachers from different subjects are out right there. So kindly, geography, how the geography can be incorporated here. The children can be given a project on geographical aspects of Antarctica. Actually, if you really go through, it has got 6 zones, right? The traveling is taking place from the sea to land to air, and different zones. Just imagine if Tishani Doshi starts from Tamil Nadu to Antarctica, what all geographical aspects are covered in this process. So the child gets an opportunity to do a project on the geographical aspects of Antarctica. Yeah. So mathematics, when it comes to mathematics here, the calculation of the distance of Antarctica from different countries. I think I'm convincing. Then when it comes to science, the child can draw and elaborate on the possible food chain, aquamarine food chain, yes, in the region of Antarctica. Visual art, they can make wonderful landscape. We can go for a wonderful exhibition. We can invite an artist. We can conduct competitions, poster making competitions. And when it comes to ICT, the children can get an opportunity for digital painting skills, PPT making, and presentation on life in Antarctica. So they, here see, they can understand their culture. They will be sensitized towards the destruction happening to our Antarctica. It will have a serious So just the words will have a peripheral impact on the learners, whereas the art integration will have the huge impact on the learners, because the child is doing and learning. So music, there are a few who have great enthusiasm in music. They can, compose, they can perform, they can create lyrics, they can make tomorrow's great musicians, great lyricists, and yes. So, like, Ricky Cage, you all might have heard about Ricky Cage. I just want to, when it comes to music, right, it would be great, and it would be incomplete without mentioning Ricky Cage's achievement in the field of music. He have won Grammy thrice, and his all the videos, music, are exclusively on Save Earth. Yes, kindly go through it. And then skit, our children are, psychomotor skills also have to be catered to. So skit is a wonderful way, theater, skit, and acting, all that. Movie making is another arena where, child exercises directing, producing, dialogue writing. So just imagine how many skills, how many talents, how many qualities are involved in the process of these art integration into our learning. I hope it's clear. May I have a few responses now? Can we incorporate a few more art into the present topic? I know we might have great more learn. We conduct immune activity in our school. Oh, that's great. Yes, ma'am. That's true. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, very true, ma'am. Ma'am, that how many it has to be devised, because you have to have a time and plan, right? We will be talking on that. So as our module is ready, lesson plan, annual plan, so the number of plans are already, has been assigned. So accordingly, we can think of. And not only that, when in the classroom is a miniature of society, right? So we have different types of learners. So accordingly, I think we can have the different groups and the plan and the time. I think it's fine, ma'am. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Shall I move ahead? Salam, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Vinaya, ma'am, please note a few questions are coming up in the chat box. You can take it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, I am doing.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So extrapolative activities will add the 25% learning, because here the real further creativity, they have to imagine. So imaginative, you are Tishani Doshi, write a travelogue of a journey to Antarctica. They have to imagine, right? Then prepare a pen portrait or bio sketch, or biography, or writing an anecdote. Anecdote also includes a lot of art integration. His thoughts, his feelings, his experiences, different things when traveling from one place to the other. And that's wonderful, learning, great learning takes place through travel. Yes, so it can be also encouraged. Then imagine the flora and fauna found in Antarctica acting as human beings, right conversation taking place among them in the form of dialogues. Yes, imagine yourself as a researcher. Just imagine the child puts itself as a researcher, and suddenly, the bulb of discovery and invention sparks. Dakshin Gangotri Space Station in Antarctica, and the child has to write a factual description about a day in Antarctica. Yes, so the child starts visualizing. If the child really becomes a researcher, if the child really becomes an IFS officer, if the child becomes a real, climate expert, or a weather reporter, yes, we can achieve multi-talented personalities, multi-talented achievements is possible, and multiple facets, versatile children, we can achieve through these practices, that's extrapolative activities. So now when we have already practiced our strategies, we have already implemented in the classroom, we have made our learners do, definitely the child deserves a reward. It has to be reciprocated. So the first thing we all know, we also love to be appreciated. Definitely a constructive stroke helps us in further enhancement or reinforcement, and therefore each child, be it very small micro contribution, to be appreciated and to be encouraged to do further. It works miraculous. I have experience. We should not leave any child of ours without appreciation. Even the smallest and smallest of appreciation has to be extended. Yes. And how, and then they look forward. Our children definitely, simply they want to learn. They have to be assessed. Yes. And as for the credit system, it's a vast topic. Again, I'm not going further into that. The teacher can assess by utilizing interview schedule, observation schedule. They can have a checklist interpretation. They can have a presentation and performance and portfolio, and evaluating the segment for completing rubrics. It's all there online. Kindly go through it. We can devise more and more slides as per the need. Yes, we are moving on to the great philosopher, spiritual leader, and a true patriot, Sri Aurobindo. It is not that every man should be an artist. It is necessary that every man should have his, her artistic faculty developed, because we have to beat the hard realities, the crude realities, the realistic, pragmatic life we all know we are combating with. So artistic faculty developed, his taste trained, his sense of beauty and insight into form and color, and that which is expressed in form and color made habitually active, correct, and sensitive. So we have to be sensitized. We have to be sensitive to our people, to our brothers, and then only this world will be a heaven to dwell in. Art integration allows us to build chefs.
Arts integration allows us to build chefs who make choices, not cooks who merely follow the recipe.
I think the idea is pretty clear.
Arts
Yes. Now from the classroom to how it has to be implemented. This is cool, right? So what we have, how to go further. So capacity building of all the stakeholders, skill of designing, as ma'am said, how it is possible. First, this is how we have to start with. So we have to have capacity building of all the stakeholders. We have to have skill of designing activities. We have to sit together, plan, time, resources. We have to have classroom management and display of students' artwork. We have to have museum corner in schools and classes. We also have to have visits for educational exposure, followed by performances and presentation. And then we have to be teaming up with the local artists and artisans in the community. As well, teaming up of subject teachers and art teachers for multidisciplinary learning. Here, this is where we have to really work on how to go about in implementation of art integrated learning in our school. So we can have use of bagless days. The pathetic condition of our children carrying such big bag throughout the year. How hassle-free, how fun-loving, right? Will they have these days, great days, exhilarating days. So to reward them actually, or to document, we have to preserve, document, we have to do with the best AIL practices. We have to give an acknowledgement of those who are engaged in AIL practices effectively. And that's why CBSE has emphasized on conducting national conference at Madurai, maybe in the month of October and November. So we have to prepare ourselves. Research and development. So when we are doing, we have to think multiple other possible ways to research and develop in that arena. And then the awareness or orientation of parents on AIL. The parents also should be, oriented. They should also be able to understand the multiple possibilities, multiple development, holistic development of children, because sometimes some parents are very academic, mark oriented. Yes, assessment through AIL, it's already done. Understanding roles and responsibilities of each and every entity involved or engulfed. So, journey of AIL in our school. So we need analysis, we need to design of training modules, we have to have capacity building of the school, we have to have field study, inter-school, district, state, and national seminar. It's very, very important. If we are, we are vowing, we are taking an oath to foster in the endeavor of CBSE National Education Policy 2020 holistic development of child. Yes, and the different forms you all are aware of. Just quick look at that: sand art, pottery, toy making, Indian folk dances, painting, drama, creativity, expressions, building sculpture, robotics, other structures. I remember here, I just wanted to just mention here, while dealing with third level, Japanese third level of Vista, in that there is a question called to allow the children or to engage the children in thinking about futuristic inventions. Okay, like the Invisible Man has thrown light on to get invisible, or nanotechnology. So when I just announced that we are going to conduct a science exhibition on this, new upcoming inventions or discoveries, the children were very thrilled. So it has touched the scientific temperament of the children. The chapter is actually talking about the scientific theme, fact, time machine. But what are the other possibilities? So our children are budding, budding talented, budding scientists, budding writers, budding movie makers. So we have to ignite that talent, that potential, that caliber. So that is really possible through the incorporation of art integration into our mainstream core subjects. So why AI at secondary and high secondary stage? I have given emphasis to this part because I'm dealing with now higher secondary classes. So as you know, now this is a constructive age. So that will help in that aspect. Also, life skills are very paramount, as they have to go for to be channelized for a profession, right? Then addressing the adolescent social emotions, when each and every one out there is aware of the present crisis of our gen. So when it's just, talk and chalk, lecturing method are leading them nowhere. They don't have patience to listen to us. It's not 20 minutes is also optimum. I think that's also not there. So if we engage them in quality time, when they enjoy through these arts, I think that can also be handled. And those, pent up emotions, disturbing emotions, that misguidance, misleading thoughts can be channelized into creativity and help them in their holistic development. Yes, so this will have a lifelong impact, okay? And that's only possible through art exposure. So when an individual is corrected, or when can be free from the vicious circle, because the child can be sensitized of the community. Then for all this, we need planning of time, resource planning, foundational and preparatory, also for the beyond and social sciences and maths. So as I told you, life skills development, if the child is not getting an opportunity to do the practical things, the vocational thing, how do we expect the child to have application and higher application learning? It's just not theory. So art integration will pave that, right? So students in involvement in designing process, they will have an independent learning. They will have cross-cultural tolerance, empowering sense of self-identity. Now, in a class of 40, 50 students, right, they don't get an opportunity. So they lack that identity. That lots of identity crisis happens in especially 11th and 12th. So when they get an importance, right, in the classroom, or at least somewhere to showcase their talent, right, definitely they get engaged in quality development. So linked to career paths, reflective journal, internship opportunities to learn vocational subjects may be available during holidays. Now, we can also utilize our holidays. I definitely salute our Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam for his great initiative in engaging the great learners to devote one of the days to teach our needies. That's on Sunday. Just imagine. Likewise, I think we can also utilize our holiday periods when it's possible, when the child is really enthusiastic of it. So we can, right, entrust this responsibility and design. So each one teach one. Yes, each one teach one. So now the holidays can be also, have a wonderful learning experience. They can be entrusted. They can visit the maybe industries, maybe the different other areas, right, to gain the practical experience, to interview, to know the real happenings, the real practices there, and that will definitely enhance their learning skills. So I think it's time now for us. Should we advocate for the arts? Should we join our hands? Should we work actively, smartly, proactively in empowering art integrated learning? And the theme of this year's 2020 NEP 2020, holistic development of a child. I think you all, was it enough? May I have a quick response again?
Thank you, madam.
Even if we are in that crisis, we are at that juncture again when we began with the innovative juncture where art meets learning. Yes, innovative. Learning meets innovative. Yes, a quick video, kindly.
Benefits of arts integration because it shapes communication, 21st century skills. It gives us unique symbols, different kinds of metaphors to foster our communication skills. It fosters creativity. You see, when we participate in different art forms as creators, performers, or maybe as audience, it fosters our creativity. The arts offers connections, right? Connections between different cultures and societies. We get opportunities to access, express, and integrate a variety of content areas. It fosters our overall well-being. When we participate as creators, performers, or maybe audience, it enhances mental, physical, and emotional well-being. It promotes community engagement as well. We connect, we collaborate with others, thus enjoy inclusive environment. Art, it fosters learning. Learning becomes better. You see, research says the students who study arts, they outperform the students with little or no arts involvement. And we start imagining new possibilities. We do not know the world that our children will encounter tomorrow. So we cannot take the solutions as granted. Let our children's imagination fly. You see, it opens up new possibilities. Arts integration is more than using arts to teach academic subjects. It leads to artistic processes in the classroom, thus leading to new alternatives. It transcends previous limitations. You see, as a methodology of teaching learning process, as a teacher, we provide different activities to the children to introduce new subject matter. So children, they are more likely to make different connections and transcend previous limitations. Arts fosters transdisciplinary approach. We are able to connect different subject matter with arts and even different disciplines, different subjects with each other to understand better. Is a pathway to expression. The processes of arts integration is an artistic exploration of the curriculum. You see, we get to know about different means to express and represent. My lovely educators, you might have heard or maybe learned about hemisphere dominance theory. We talk about our different hemispheres, the two hemispheres, the left and right one, they associated with logical processes and visual and creative thinking processes respectively. So accordingly, we keep on fostering the respective activities in our children. My lovely educators, we should also know, like, both the hemispheres, they maybe are working differently, but they are dependent upon each other. So when we talk about learning numbers or letters, right, learning through logically as well, and we start imagining through other hemisphere too. So what we need to do, we need to stimulate both the hemispheres, whether we are science teachers, whether we are art teachers, we need to stimulate both the hemispheres so that learning becomes better, right? And children, they'll be able to learn better, retain the knowledge for a longer period of time. CBSE talks about art and culture involvement not only for joyful classrooms, but we need to foster Indian culture as well, like through arts integration. This is highlighted in the circular that we received on 4th May 2020. Just has been given to you in front.
So, as you know, today, 18th May is International Museum Day, and they have urged everyone to visit museums which enrich their knowledge and insight. It also states that museums educate people about the nation's art, architecture, culture, history, and civilization. I think we can really achieve this great agenda, this great theme through wholehearted and full participation. Now, one of the practices, if we are failing to plan, we are planning to fail. We have to cater to the need of our learners. That is our utmost duty towards our students. Let us vow, let us promise, let's take an oath to cater to their need. Thank you once again for your kind listening, for your patience. I hope I have done a bit to this topic, and thank you once again to our Salam sir from the bottom of my heart to give me this opportunity to deal with this topic. Once again, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, my audience. Good evening.
Thank you, Sagarika ma'am, for that enriching session. I'm sure that all the participants have benefited a lot from the session. So am I. However, we have some queries from the participants. Shall we go to the question answer round?
Yes, ma'am. Please take up the questions.
Yes. One question is how the art integration can be implemented in the writing sections of English.
Writing sections of English means it can
like
be article,
notice writing, poster making.
Yes. Article writing, notice writing, report writing, then narrative writing, different, invitation, right. So what I have done is the child should be observing things happening in school. Yes, many programs happens, right? The child can be encouraged to observe things properly, right? Whatever happening in our school, for example, like one exhibition is going to be put. Let the child draft a notice, or in the class we are going to for an activity, okay, a group activity, right? For example, you take Mother's Day, 11th standard Mother's Day. We are going to put up a show, right? So how are we inviting? So we have to create a notice. We have done it. Wonderful notice have come out. Digital notice, wonderful notice have come out. So they have put it on the notice board. The child is learning. The child has contacted the actors, the the directors, the musicians, and all that. So the child has learning while doing. It will never ever erase from the memory. Not only that, report writing. Once the activity is over, the child can be encouraged to draft a report. Yes. Yeah, I think I'm pretty clear, ma'am. Likewise, we can think of like writing a letter, also formal letter, requesting the principal to permit, allow to showcase their talent or put up the show in the stage. So this is how we can integrate art. The things are happening and the writing is happening simultaneously. Ma'am, I think I'm clear.
Yes, ma'am.
So much time won't be, wasted. It need not be specifically, format you can give, right? We can also think of, integrating art into the format, poster making and all that. On poster making, we can do that definitely. But when it's happening, already it is happening, the child can be just channelized. Yes, observe things properly and draft a notice or whatever we say, letter writing, article writing, report writing, so on and so forth.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, Gayatri ma'am has another question. How do we incorporate complex, challenging concepts via art integration?
I think you have to be specific. Complex is vast, right? Yes.
Ma'am, it's for senior secondary level.
Yes, it has to be specific, ma'am. And I think the subject experts can help. Yes.
Okay.
If Miss Gayatri is there, she can speak up because we have to, understand the question through examples.
Yes, one example, if I can help out, well and good. Ma'am, Gayatri ma'am.
If Gayatri can raise her hand, we unmute you so you can speak up because we need an example to understand the question. Let's go to the next, and participants can raise their hands. We will unmute you so that you can use this platform to clear your doubts and you can get ideas. You can also give us ideas how you have practiced in the classroom. Yes, Miss Gayatri has come up. Miss Gayatri, you can ask.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. First of all, thank you so much for coming up with such a wonderful session like this. I'm handling class 11 and 12 biology. So especially in class 11, when we teach the students all about biomolecules, that seems to be a difficult unit for them, as well as for class 12, again molecular biology, such concepts when we teach. So how do we incorporate this art integration? How does it work? So, and one more thing which I would like to add up here is, when we come up with theater-based activity, so for example, to teach them the complex, concepts such as DNA fingerprinting, it is possible for them to come up with theater performance by incorporating such topics. So that had worked well in order to, make them to understand that really well. That in fact, in your session, you had also included that particular aspect. So apart from that, anything else could be done. That's what my doubt.
It can be a dance, I think, a rap. Recently, I have come across a video, very beautiful video. Actually, time is a constraint, where the video is showing how the heart function takes place. So a few students in white dress, a few students in red dress, and the left ventricle and the right ventricle, how it's opening, closing, and how the blood is gushing. so amazing it was. Like,
Yes,
we
yes.
don't
Why
understand
red
sometimes.
blood cells and white blood
Yeah.
cells? Yeah, I also have
Yeah,
watched.
very true.
Yeah.
So time was constant. Actually, I was thinking to bring in that video here. So, and it's so complex. Even trigonometry, it never has got into my mind. Actually, I have never understood the concepts. Why we were learning all that cos theta, all that. It never had happened. But recently, actually, I just want to show you. So this is the art integrated learning guidelines for secondary stage. So many chapters are devised. I also took some time. I haven't studied fully. I'm definitely going to delve because this is one of my favorite areas. And literally speaking, I have been criticized a lot sometime before. Fortunately, now CBSE is seriously thinking about it because I have often my class often used to be art integrated. Often I used to get very good comments, but time consuming. We have to think of that part also. But then, yes, the child really enjoys learning and it has got an indelible imprint in their psyche. Even, after so many years, they come up, oh, ma'am, that was really fun. The other things would have vanished from their memory. So think of that. That's what lifelong impact on our learners. It will really open their eyes also. Many students, I just tell you, ma'am, like one of the chapters is Poets and Pancakes in our English textbook. So there were science students. I was dealing with +2 computer science bachelors. I thought actually all of them are seriously thinking of taking computer science as their main subject. But it really opened my eye when I was organizing a team activity, directors, actors, actresses, makeup artists, then producers, then setting designers, musicians, lyricists. Then this child comes, ma'am, thank God for the first time. Okay, I want to say that I want to pursue my career in the field of movie making. So all these years, maybe we have not identified this innate interest or this passion. So it will definitely help us to identify the passion of the child and definitely help them get into so many possibilities. Otherwise, the child, that's just medical and engineering and like hopeless, the child going hopeless, that can be sorted out.
Yes, Sagarika ma'am, we have resources just in front of us in the classroom itself. There are greater talents. We have to identify the talents and utilize their talents in, explaining the lesson very simply.
Yes, sir.
For example, if you are reciting a poem, nowadays, students are very interested in, listening to Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan. There are students who can imitate Shah Rukh Khan's voice, Amitabh Bachchan voice, So it becomes imprinted in their mind.
Yeah,
it becomes fun learning as well.
Very
so
true,
we have
sir.
the resources within the classroom. We have to
Yes.
identify, make use of the resources. It is very easy.
Exactly, sir. I strongly agree with
Yeah.
what you said.
Gayatri ma'am, any more question?
So one more question is there from Sharda ma'am.
Yeah, Miss Gayatri is on the mic. Miss Gayatri, have we answered your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was wonderful adding up such innovative ideas. So definitely, teachers like us would love to incorporate such ideas into our curriculum. Due to time constraint, most of us are not able to make use of these innovative ideas. That is a reality. But whatever possible, we would like to try out our best. So definitely, the Extra Mile had come up with such a wonderful, session like this. It will definitely make a change in the teaching practice. Thank you so much, sir. You have answered really well. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Miss Gayatri. Thank you so much. As Gayatri ma'am has rightly pointed out, everybody is rushing with the portions, especially in the secondary, senior secondary sections. But at the same time, learning should not be a taxation for students. It should be a kind of pleasant experience so that our task becomes easy. Our job becomes easy if we make use of the talents in the classroom, for which we need to find some time, devise, and implement. so that students will love learning rather than, unwillingness to go to school. Thank you so much. Over to Sagarika ma'am. Vinaya.
Ma'am, one more question is there from Sharda ma'am. How many multidisciplinary activities should be conducted in primary for assessment?
So, yeah, I have made it clear when you have strategized your annual plan, annual module, you have to think of incorporating this one. So it is according to the number of days annual plan. It has to go along
You
with your
mean
annual
to say pedagogical plan?
Yes, an annual plan. Annual plan means the chapter, number of periods assigned for the art integrated learning. We have an idea, right? Clear-cut idea, our objectives, art integrated different pedagogical practices we want to implement. So as for that and the need, right? No, we need not think of all the arts to be implemented in all our chapters. We can, very creatively we can plan it out. And I think as educators, by now we have, right, a clear-cut idea of achieving or what you say,
think out of the box.
Talented enough. I just want to say talented enough to assess, talented enough to understand the need of our learners and devise accordingly, strategize accordingly. Yes, ma'am. So I won't be able to give a specific numbers that you have to devote such and such. We know the requirement. So as per the requirement, we have to strategize. I think it's fine, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. One more question from Lakshmi Priya. How to correlate art integration in mathematics?
So definitely.
We have already just given an example.
One example.
Yeah, video is given. So that is self-explanatory.
Antarctica.
Yes.
Okay, let's wind up, ma'am. Almost 8:30. Thank you. Vinaya ma'am, over to you. Please wind up.
I would like to extend our gratitude and appreciation to Ms. Sagarika Das, my friend and colleague, for enlightening us with this artful and mindful session. I'm sure we will apply these tips in our pedagogical plan and ensure our young learners to reap maximum benefit out of it. Dear participants, kindly note the link for the certificate and feedback form has already been posted. You are requested to fill up the form with all the necessary details. I, Vinaya, along with Extra Mile Education and Training, would like to thank Dr. Abdul Salam for his boundless support and guidance. Thank you, sir, for such a great opportunity. And most importantly, thank you all participants for your enthusiasm. I sincerely hope we earned the privilege of your time. Over to you, Salam, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your help. Yeah, since you are, working together, I thought it would be better. We will have a better chemistry working out. So thank you so much for your help in moderating the session. And Sagarika ma'am, congratulations. It never felt that you are doing for the first time on this platform. So, and I should, appreciate your efforts. It was great effort indeed. So I think we could do justice to the expectations of the participants, especially the latest part of the session was very interesting because it was connected to examples and there were questions and interactions, and we could help the educators with bits of ideas, and they also shared their ideas. I was watching the chat box. In fact, they were giving us lots of insights. So many participants were actually participating and giving us insights how we can integrate art into, the learning, teaching learning process. So, Sagarika ma'am, on behalf of the entire participants who have gathered on the Extra Mile platform. I take this opportunity to congratulate you and thank you for offering this session and your valuable time. I know that you being the coordinator and also a lot of work to do, but you made it possible. And definitely a lot more, educators will be benefiting because we will be sharing this video with them. There were lots of responses, more than 1,500 registrations, but only 300 could join. I received messages that they couldn't join. So they will be sharing this video with them. Don't worry. All participants, keep connected, keep learning. And we are giving opportunities to new faces. We are exploring, discovering talents, and the mission, because the mission of Extra Mile is to empower educators. So thank you so much, Sagarika ma'am, Vinaya ma'am, Mr. Biju S. Pillai, all the educators. We are winding up. We are signing out. Have a good night.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much, sir. Once again, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Grateful to you, sir.